The Third Sand War was a conflict between the FTP coalition and the Pale. The war officially started on June 30th, 2022, when Merconis declared war on the Pale. The war, by technical means, can be viewed as a continuation of the Second Sand War. Following the war, many citizens of Merconis fled to eastern holds owned by Wolfgang Godfrigel. These holds would become the new center of Merconis, with the nation slowly rebuilding. On April the 29th, 2022, Jorbeekt killed Wolfgang Godfrigel in the city of Arrakis. On May the 5th, 46 citizens of Volkmar, a vassal of the Pale, raided the capital of Merconis of Numerkstad. The raiders included the leader of Volkmar. On June the 24th, 2022, a former citizen of the Pale, Mr. Good Asian, grabbed the trident from Chancellor of Merconis when he dropped it on the ground. The Chancellor was not in the nether and the trident was lost. The Merconian ambush at Oblitus Oris was a skirmish on the 29th of the same month that happened in the city of Oblitus Oris in the Pale's occupied region of Merconis. This is considered to be a pre-war skirmish as the Third Sand War was declared a day later. Tensions between Merconis and the Pale had been mounting since the fall of Oblitus Oris. The city had been occupied by the Pale. The Chancellor of Merconis, Wolfgang Godfrigel, and a Merconian citizen by the name of Abstap III, who was the grandson of Abstap, went on a diplomatic meeting to the city with the nation of Daragon. On the way there, the Chancellor and Abstap were spotted at the city of Anatolia and followed to Oblitus Oris. Eventually, JDD, High King of the Pale, as well as a few others went into the city during the diplomatic talks. Wolfgang Godfrigel and Abstap III left to bring backup. Believing there was going to be a fight, they came back with a few fighters from the Foreign Legion and returned to JDD not there. Only the Queen of the Pale was there. The legionnaires, knowing that JDD would be back with a small force, attacked the Queen, and just as she was fleeing, Wolfgar Ironback finally arrived. The battle had started. Fighting lasted for around 10 to 15 minutes, with the Merconian legionnaires slowly being killed or pushed out of the city due to the lack of manpower and other necessities. The fighting raged on until Astap III ordered a retreat from the city. The Chancellor, Astap, and a few others were wounded. The result was a military victory for the Pale. Relations almost broke down, and the Pale, as well as a few other nations, denounced Merconis for the attack, and the nations of Anglunia and the Volperium both declared they would support the Pale in any conflict against Merconis. Officially, the war started on the 30th, with multiple nations declaring they would support Merconis, and the FTP coalition was formed against the Pale, working together to fight the nation. Several powerful nations, including the Volperium and Anglunia, backed the Pale, as well as the Legion of Good, or the LOG, led by Jorbeekt. In addition to being the leader of the Legion of Good, Jorbeekt was also the commander of the Pale's forces. Both sides would hire mercenaries to fight in the conflict. However, no fighting would ever take place, as Merconis would cancel the war 12 hours before it was set to begin. Before the war had officially been declared, both sides had already started mass-producing propaganda. Propaganda for the Pale mostly consisted of citizens joining the fight and donating supplies to fund the war effort. On the Merconian side, propaganda mostly consisted of blasting the Pale, depicting them as evil imperialists and counter-revolutionaries. The war was officially considered indecisive. Nothing major would occur until August the 8th, 2022, where Avaria, a vassal of the Pale, sold their lands to Merconis, reuniting them with their historical territory. The Pale would refuse to recognize these purchases as legitimate. However, on the 11th, the people and leadership of the Pale would choose to leave Altam and Stoneworks as a whole, resulting in their lands being split between the newly established nations of Mangiferia, the Razuni Sultanate, Brenra, Eldia, Medina, Saifethale, and Dawn. With Merconis back in central Altam, Mangiferia would prepare for a new conflict, the Fourth Sand War. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe. It's free and really helps out the channel. Thank you. Peace out and goodbye.